Hey guys, so today we are going to be talking about um, Protect by Bodie Summers. This is the second book in her Broken series, and not too long ago we did a review on Break, which is the first book in the series. If you haven't read Break, do it. It is an amazing book, and stop here because I'm going to be talking about spoilers. Also, Protect picks up exactly where Break leaves off. So you're going to want to read that before reading Protect because you won't. They don't. They're not standalones. Let's put it that way. You need to read both in order to know what's going on and figure everything out. With that being said, I'm now going into the review. So once again, there will be spoilers if you haven't read Break. Okay, guys? So Protect picks up immediately where Break leaves off. So Hope has been kidnapped by her abusive father. And he has gone from where he was and ramped everything up like 100 million. Okay, we're finding out things that are just despicable. I mean, this man is the worst of the worst. Okay, that being said, while Hope is dealing with that, basically in her own living hell, Dimitri, Knox, and Jackson have gone into full-on rescue mode. I'm going to be honest, this book is really less romance and more just raw survival. I'm going to say, yeah, it's survival, reckoning, redemption. There's really no spice in this book at all. And if you have triggers, definitely check the warnings, because this has some major stuff in it. I mean, this book is heavy, guys. Like, seriously heavy. So if you can't handle things, then definitely check Bodhi's site for the trigger warnings because there's a lot. Okay. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna move on. We're gonna take and start with Hope. This poor woman. I cannot. Oh my god. Bodhi has just. Oh my god. I'm sorry, guys. It's just, she's poor. Poor Hope. She has to be so strong to deal with everything that she's dealing with. She went through all of this stuff in her childhood. She finally thinks that she's got away from it, and then she's basically put into hell. She's terrified, she's traumatized, she's trapped, but she isn't the child she was before. She's a strong woman who is fighting, um, like literally fighting. She is doing so much to free herself and just reclaim her power. Um, and it's just it's empowering. I know I use that just the power a lot, but it is seeing her fight her worst fears and how she's dealing with it, and just making sure that she is going to survive this, figuring out how she's going to deal. And she has no doubt in her mind that she's going to get out of this one way or another. And then the guys, as this is happening, they are going through and dealing with their own trauma, their own issues. They're facing things that they've been kind of running from. So they've got all of this emotional stuff going on as well. We see, we've already seen some of Knox's deal and how the things that he was going through in the first book. But now we're seeing more of what's going on with Dimitri, and we even get hints of Jackson. I feel like each of the books is focusing more on like the guy's background as well as Hope's, because we saw a lot more about Knox and how he was dealing with his relationship with his parents, and Coach had been such a big portion of his life in the first book. Now we're seeing more of that with Dimitri. There's still a bit with Knox, and there's a bit with Jackson, but it feels like there's more with Dimitri in this book, like him dealing with his own baggage, let's put it that way, and how he handles it and everything as the story progresses. So there's that. And we are also learning so much more about the oh, gosh, there's just so much that is uncovered, so many twists and turns and things that are happening in the book. Because you have things that they're lies that are coming out. There's just it's just really intense. Very, very, very intense. And a lot of it is done through flashbacks. But they actually do work for the story. You also have to realize you're looking at a book that has it's done in the first person, but there are 4 POVs. So you have Hope's point of view for what she's dealing with. You also have Knox's point of view when he's doing his thing and dealing with his stuff, and then Dimitri and of course Jackson. So they're all this. You're getting all sides of everything. You're seeing how they're dealing with Hope being taken. You're seeing how they feel, their guilt, their what they were dealing with at the time, and why the rose-colored glasses were kind of on, I think, in ways. So you're learning that all of the main characters in this book are broken. They're all broken, and they're just kind of muddling through, trying to push this stuff in the past. They want to go forward, but it's not really working as well as they'd hoped. The book is very tense and very fast paced. There are a lot of action going on. There is there's huge high stakes. There are things going on. So the guys know that they're racing against the clock, basically. They are just pushing, and you see the tension between the three of them that wasn't quite there before, as they are just dealing with their own stuff, plus trying to figure out where Hope is. They want to save her, and everything. So, I don't want to give too much away, because there are a lot of twists and turns, and as you're reading the book, the things that come out and the way that you're seeing them are just done so spectacularly that I don't want to take that away from anyone. I just have to say that, Hope has been put through so much that I hope in the last book, yeah, I know, right? But anyway, I really want to see the last book where they all get something, because this is the first two books in the series have been so heavy, and they're very, very dark, guys. I mean, seriously dark. So really check the trigger warnings if you're going to read these. That being said, they're worth it. Especially for anyone who reads these to help deal with their own trauma. You know who you are. You know what I'm talking about. These are very heavy, yet for those of us who know what it is, it's also kind of fulfilling to see the end result. Let's put it that way. There are tons of twists, turns, triggers, yeah, all that stuff. But it is a spectacularly done book that is worth the read if it's not going to tax your mental capabilities, I guess, or your mental stability. Bodie has done an amazing job writing a book that is emotionally heavy, but extremely well done. Even with the things that happen in the book, I was able to get past them, just to see the end result. And again, if you can get past the things, certain triggers that are there, it is definitely worth the read. But this is not for everyone, and this is not just a dark romance. This is a black romance, guys. And if you read these books, you know what I mean when I say black romance. So yeah. Again, this is one of my top tier books that I have read. And I am seriously looking forward to the third one in the series because, yes, once again, we are left on a cliffhanger. Um, so there's that. While I am waiting, I am going to be checking out some of Bodhi's other books because I think that her writing style is amazing. She has a very intense way of writing that I enjoyed, and her plot lines are well done. So I will definitely be checking out some of her other works while I am waiting for book 3 in the series to come out, which I will most definitely be seeing if I can get my hands on advanced like the rest of these, because I don't really want to wait. So if you're looking for something that is intense, dark, and really well done, check out the series. And you definitely want to read Break first, then move into Protect, and then we'll see what book 3 brings us. So, yeah, that's what I got. If you have read the books, let me know in the comments what you thought. Were they a bit too intense for you? Did you enjoy them? You know, all that. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.